what's going on? Stats and Four. We're back with another episode. We have to take a little break just so we can get some of these brackets finalized to see what these finals four are looking like. And don't mind me with the gear I got on. If you haven't been noticing, there's been two big announcements about some Spider-Man movies coming out next year and the year after. Hey, if you don't know, for some of us on this set, it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales all day, baby. You already know, gang is gang.
What's up, gang?
Gang is gang.
Mm.
Yeah, it's only three of us, but the rest of the bros are gonna be coming on this joint shortly. But man, we'll start off with my guy D Dr. Esquire Day.
Yeah, what's up, man? Ready to break down these chalk ass brackets, you feel me? Not too much. But yeah, man, ready to break it all, ready to get into some analysis here.
All right, bet. You know, I got my boy C Note. What's good with you, homie?
What's good with it? Y'all know how it is. Sydney Sweeney, go ahead, sign that contract. We need to get you a Felicia Hardy. I need to see my boy in hell. I need to see a rare performance by Tom Holland. I need to see a rare performance.
Yeah. Thank God it ain't February no more.
Hey, chill out, son. We also got my boy T, biggest plug out here in Charlotte, making moves behind the scenes. What's up? It was good with you, man.
What's good, y'all, man? I know we're talking some college basketball, but I got some bars for Glenn Rivers.
Yeah, we gonna have a little bit of time with that. I make sure we're gonna have some time for that, man. And of course, we're gonna have our boy BT join us shortly. But yeah, man, let's get down to it. As Dave alluded to, though we had some good matchups from the beginning of the tournament up until this Final Four, as Dave looked. It's some chalk. Before we get to the men, you know, we just coming off Women's History Month. Let's show some ladies some love real quick. You know, last night we got the final two teams in the Final Four. As it's known, it was pretty much almost all the number one seeds got in. We got South Carolina, Texas, UCLA, and then the only non-number one seed at number two seed, UConn. It is unfortunate that, of course, USC, a number one seed in that bracket, Juju Watkins tore her ACL, so she was out for the season, and we don't know how long she's going to be out. If she's even going to play next year. So before we go into further, you know, Godspeed, Juju. You're one of the best players, not only in just college basketball, but just hoops, period. You do a lot for the city. You're doing a lot with your brand, so I'm hoping she can come back stronger than ever. But even before the injury, and I know we talked about it in our group chat, I just felt like UConn was just going to come out that bracket if Juju was able to play, and it's because Paige is on a mission as always with her fourth Final Four appearance, and this time she's bringing some backup with her like any other appearance. She's got Sarah Strong with her. AZ Fudd is healthy. They got a transfer guard in, but yeah, and I guess I give this first question to you, Dave. Between these Final Four teams, man, who's been looking the most impressive so far, and who you got taking it all in this women's side?
Yeah. So I think who's been the most impressive so far to me, I think it's kind of between UCLA and UConn. Like I think UCLA has been fairly impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of have to see who had kind of the harder path. Maybe like South Carolina probably had the hardest path to get there. Maybe either South Carolina or Texas. But UCLA has looked impressive, but I also think, you know, UConn has, you know, has looked impressive as well. So, you know, I think each of the number one seeds to start off the tournament, I think we all beat our opponents by like 50 points or whatever. UConn beat Arkansas State by like 70 or something crazy.
Yes, ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like 104 to 30 or something like that. I joked. I was like, they saw Notre Dame smack somebody. They saw South Carolina put like 60 piece on somebody. They saw UCLA do their thing. They saw Texas do their thing. Like South Carolina, like I'm like, they gotta match it. Like I'm pretty sure that's what Gino's thinking because throughout this tournament, and I've kind of like just been noticing more how Gino coaches like again, even against like the 16 seeds and the 8 seeds or no, sorry, it was a 15 seed and then a 10 seed that we played in the second round. He like some things even when we're like up 20, he's like up 20 up there. He's still like coaching hard, like like missed defensive assignments, things like that. He's getting on his players about that stuff because he's thinking about okay, we're gonna eventually have to see like UCLA, South Carolina, Texas. We're gonna have to see one of these teams. In the Elite Eight, they're eventually going to have to see UCLA in the Elite Eight. So I'm sorry, USC in the Elite Eight. This was before the Juju Watkins injury, so he's thinking about we got to look crisp against them. It may be all right to have these mistakes against South Dakota State and Arkansas State. Oklahoma even like played us close for 3 quarters. And until Paige went on a 19-0 run herself, and even in no matter what level, high school, college, whatever, a 19-0 run by yourself is crazy. Different. It's crazy. It doesn't happen like that much. Obviously, like the famous
locked in.
When when LeBron scored like 25 straight points or whatever.
Yeah, 26. I think that run was like 26-3 or some shit like that.
Something like that. He scored like 25 out of the 20, like something crazy like that. It's that no matter what level, that type of run is crazy. So, yeah, I think, just unfortunately not getting the type of matchup we wanted with US, it doesn't provide enough of a measuring stick for how we might play against UCLA. I feel like, just first looking at the UCLA UConn matchup, I know UCLA has Betts and they have Kiki Rice, but we got Sarah Strong and we got Paige. I mean, like it's gonna be a matter of what trio or we got as is well. There's obviously a lot of good they have a lot of good starters in their lineup. So it's a matter of which star player plays best. I think Gino said it best either last night or in a previous interview before last night's game. Your program, like your work ethic and your program and your record and how you do in the regular season, that gets you to the Sweet 16. Obviously, because if you're top 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, the games are at your crib, so you have an advantage there. But your stars get you to the Final Four, and we saw that. We definitely saw that with Paige Beckers against Oklahoma. And Sarah Strong had 22 and 17, I believe, last night. So your stars get you to the Final Four and eventually get you to a championship. Texas, South Carolina, I think that should be a good one. Going back to when they last played in the SEC championship, I think South Carolina showed, some dominance, I think, in that second half. I feel like maybe the same could happen again because, Texas had Texas had like some battles with TCU and Tennessee, but South Carolina, they've been tested since the second round. Like Indiana gave them problems for about a half. Maryland gave them problems the whole game until the final couple minutes. And then Duke, if Duke hits that 3 at the end, it might be a different story, So, they've been tested for sure. But I feel like we're gonna get the matchup of UConn, South Carolina, and just to be honest, like I of course I respect what South Carolina women's basketball is and Dawn Staley and everything. Top like one of my favorite coaches in the game, of course, but I want to kick their ass like we did on February 16th. I want to kick their ass. I want to kick their ass. Like I said in the last episode, like Denzel Washington said in Malcolm X, that brother's starving. It's been 9 years. It's been 9 years since we had the title. I know the men won 2 the last 2 years, but I need that trophy case. On the women's side, we needs that back. We don't let South Carolina have a dynasty. We don't let all these other teams get championships. We don't let all these other teams stack their resume. We need that trophy back. We need that trophy back. So I think that's the matchup we're gonna get. And I obviously I think it can go either way, but I'm going with UConn on this one.
Yeah. All right, and a couple more points before I pass it over to a couple other fellas. And just my honest opinion, I do feel like the winner of the UCLA versus UConn matchup might end up winning the whole tournament because to me they seem like those are the two best teams as of right now. I think if you look at top down, they probably like the more completely. Now South Carolina, they have a team too, but and this is really a question for you. This is something looks like that South Carolina Achilles heel sometimes means they have too much talent, so they don't know when to give like certain players the balls, or other players just can't get into a rhythm. Because what I saw in that Duke game was, of course South Carolina, they pretty much won because they had the two biggest stretches in the second quarter and the fourth quarter. But Duke throughout the whole game was giving them fits on the defensive side, and they definitely didn't have anything for Toby Foreigner, freshman center for Duke that was coming off the bench. They had nothing for her throughout the whole game. But it seems like, because in my opinion, for instance, Pow, I understood why Raven Johnson got the bulk of the minutes out of the four guards because she brings that defensive presence and a good ball handler. To me, I felt like for Wally should have got more minutes than Pow because Pow was struggling. And if I had to pick between the both of them, who's going to be that electric, who's going to give me that bucket, I would have kept Wally more in the game for Pow, especially Duke was running everything through Pow. So you can't even say it was about a defensive thing between her and for Wally, because if I'm going to get abused by a guard, I at least want to have my guard be able to score back, because it was like South Carolina, they was missing some easy free throws. Pow, she seemed like she was getting taken out of her game. And for Wally, she did provide a little bit of a spark and hit that 1-3 that kind of didn't let Duke get too far away from them in the game. But I think Dawn has to realize that sometimes it's better to go to a 6-woman lineup rather than trying to play 8-9 players, because you just need players that's going to get in better rhythm rather than, trying to go deep into your bench, because I think that almost did her in against Duke, because I feel like certain players should have got more bulk of the minutes than what they should have.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they can beat Texas, but when they go against the two teams that abused them this year are on the other side of that bracket between UCLA and UConn, and that's because both of those teams have very good front courts. Mm-hmm. And South Carolina is lacking in that. So that's the reason why I say between the winner of UCLA and UConn has a very good chance of being this version of Dawn Staley, because she might have some front court scoring in a sense, because Fagan, she's been playing lights out, filling in for that position since Ashley Watson's been down, and Joyce Edwards coming off the bench. But yeah, defensively, they just don't have anything unless Dawn's just going to break out a whole new strategy we haven't seen yet for Sarah Strong and for Betts. And then, UCLA, they just got some big girls that come off the bench, period. So,
yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Cause like that front court, I got faith in Sarah and like Ice Brady and others that will be coming off the bench, but yeah, like that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. I don't know. That's gonna be close. Like I don't know what type of game plan we're gonna have for Betts or Jaquez, right? Like I don't know how we're gonna have a game plan for their front court. But for South Carolina, for how you play against them, if you're disciplined on defense, you can beat South Carolina. And if your stars show up, you can beat South Carolina. They just kind of based on, I feel like they had the toughest, or they played like a lot of good teams along the way. to get to the Final Four. Not saying that like the other teams have, but I think like they played like the stronger teams because like Maryland and Duke gave them fits. Like, yeah. So I mean, to your point and kind of to follow up on it with how UCLA and UConn, like how either one of those can match up against like a South Carolina potentially. They had like with the depth, and South Carolina has depth too, but they kind of
don't have front court. They don't have front court depth. That's their Achilles heel.
Yeah, because they don't have Ashley Watkins' injury was a big part of that, and they're kind of just young and kind of small in that front. But I think I wouldn't say like everything like depends on this person, but for Wiley's the X factor for sure because when she's going, like when she gets going, when she's able to like make shots and be able to help South Carolina go on runs, I feel like they're very hard to beat. So if you can contain for Wiley, you got a really good shot at beating South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, but it all goes to hell if South Carolina's hot from three. If South Carolina's hot from three, then
it's a wrap.
Yeah, so that's why it's like I'm not going to say like outright like anybody can beat them, even though they've been struggling, because I don't think the past two rounds we've seen South Carolina get into that bag of them shooting crazy percentage from three. So if they start getting Kaiser on fire at the right time, then this is a whole different ball game. But since we got the rest of the fellas here, before we go into the men, any other thing I want to say about the women Final Four? Anything?
I think the four with Juju Watkins getting hurt, man. I think the four best teams made the Final Four. Some interesting matchups. South Carolina and Texas split during the regular season, so that's one good matchup I'm ready to see. And like I said about the UConn, UCLA, my only concern with UConn is the bigs on UCLA. But the way Sarah Strong has been playing, I think it's gonna be fine. And then Paige is just on another level. Paige is what we call she is sensing the moment right now.
Yeah.
She noticed her last year. It's her last two games try to get a natty. It's her last two games playing with AZ. They're like best friends. So I think she's sensing the moment and she's not taking no for an answer. So I've been saying all along it's going to be UConn and South Carolina in the championship, and I'm not straying away from that. That's what I think it's going to be. And may the best team win out of them, too. So, but yeah, I think the four best teams made it. And shout out to the women's college basketball game, man, because it was a great season.
Yeah, great. Another great season, another great tournament. And we're gonna have our episode about women's hoop shortly, probably when it gets closer to the WNBA draft, because boy, there's some news that came out last night. and some allegations.
hey, don't nobody want to go to Seattle, bro. Nobody want, man. All that bickering and they got going on over there. Nah, man. Skylar rubbing people the wrong way.
hey, y'all gonna want to be tuned into that episode because we got some breakdown for y'all. We got some we got some shit from behind the scenes. And trust me, what we gonna say in that episode ain't just some shit that we just thought of. We got people on the inside, so we gonna get y'all right. We're gonna get y'all right, man. But with that, I really think the women's tournament's been great. The season's been great. So I think this Final Four is just gonna be the cap off, and I think we're going to be getting to another good championship game. But with that said, let's go over to one of my favorite shows, Chalk Zone, because that was the only thing that was popping on the men's side.
Hey, man.
The first time since, 2008 that all four number one seeds have made it to the tournament. And before we break this down, I have to say this because I know people watched our last episode. I apologize if y'all picked Clemson because of me. They lied to me. I apologize if y'all picked Gonzaga. They lied to me. Tennessee. Look. Tennessee losing to Houston. It's not that bad, all because you are a 1 seed versus a 2 seed. But to get belt to ass like that in the Elite Eight, my God, like.
I thought they were better than that, man. I thought they wanted it. I thought they wanted it, man.
I thought they wanted it. I thought they liked to win.
They wanted it, bro.
I thought they was winners.
Last year they got so close to the Final Four, bro. They got so close. I'm like, this year, I'm like, they gonna. Most of the team is back. So I'm like, all right, man. They gonna get there, right? No.
Texas nigga said no.
Nah, man.
Well, I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you pick St. John's, we apologize.
We apologize.
I apologize for that.
We apologize for St. John's. Apologize for St. John's.
That was me.
What else we got to say? Shit. We hit on Michigan. We said Michigan was going to be tough.
Yeah. I think Texas Tech too. If you pick
Texas Tech, yeah.
Yeah, Arkansas. I think we said like they could possibly win a couple games.
And no offense to y'all, like UNC, we sorry about that shit too, man.
We very sorry about that.
We sorry, man. We sorry. We sorry.
I had USC going. I said they could go to the Final Four. 24 hours later,
and what I said,
they out.
BT was in the chat. It's like, see, look at these niggas. I'm like, damn.
They had discount white chocolate cooking them boys.
Hey, kill, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
that was that nigga from Coach Carter, bro. What's my name?
Hey.
with the headband and everything.
Mr.
What in the rec league is this?
But yeah, man. We got 4 number 1 seeds. We got Duke, Florida, Houston, and Auburn. I mean, for what it's worth, SEC just popping, man. We know about how the money rolling through there. They got 2 SEC teams and both sides, and the women and men in these Final Fours just raking up the cash flow each game by game, and everything.
SEC is money laundering.
It's a front court.
It's front, man. Fuck that. They got basketball.
But man, get into the basketball things. Look, we said last episode that Duke pretty much had an easy bracket, especially if Cooper Flag was going to be playing. So they got through their region, and then they BTA Alabama the way they did. Tough for Nate Oates, man. You lied to us, man. Y'all keep telling me analytical ball was going to get niggas through and shit, but once again,
Nate Oates, Quaker Oats, Honey Bunches for Oats. You picked the wrong night to have a historic shooting night, bro.
Dre, what didn't he have that night? He was missing something. Go get it.
He needs some milk.
That too, but he didn't have his clipboard. He didn't have his clipboard.
Mm-hmm. Man, he told me the truth.
Bro, they beat BYU so bad they could have beat them with just their twos, bro, with just the twos. And I'm like, dog, y'all did all that. Y'all hit 25 threes or whatever it is, and y'all couldn't hit like 12 or half of them against
again. They emptied the clip on the. Hey, this is like an episode of Power when they got a target on somebody and they end up killing the wrong Bama son. Y'all empty all them clips for no reason, and now you wondering why this Bama's catching you slipping, bro. Cannon all over again, son. Like,
them Lobos days was crazy.
Hey,
Lobos had them in the full Nelson at times. Lobos had them in the full Nelson at times, bro. Like,
no, he did have them in the chokehold.
For real. That's crazy. So, Duke versus Houston. Anybody have any thoughts how this match is going to look like? Like, what's your thoughts on this?
Duke gonna smack the hell out of Houston, bro.
Duke gonna beat them. I trust Houston defense. I don't trust their offense, man. They ain't gonna be able to score enough against Duke. I hate to say this,
But
man. I really do, but Duke defense is raw, man.
but you know what's crazy? I just looked this stat up. They're actually shooting way better from three than any time other Kevin Sampson this year, which I did not know that until like after they got to the Final Four. I was like, why the fuck are they beating Tennessee the way they are? I'm like, oh,
Shots.
they got shooters, but I don't know how that's going to translate because Duke, between Duke, Florida, and Auburn, they kind of got like complete teams, but like different levels of it in a sense. But it seems like Duke has just got that momentum right now where they just can beat anybody at any moment right now. So it's like, like I said, I think they're going to beat Houston, but Houston has a shot, yeah. But like, what does Houston have to do to beat Duke? I just say that.
Hey,
You gotta hit.
We got to take it to Sunday. We got to pray against the Devil T.
Yep.
look, bro. Houston, I think it's going to be a competitive game, but at the end of the day, they just don't have enough offense or high-end talent unless Cooper Flag and Con Knipple have off games, and then you have guys like Zion James, Malawatch. Like Duke is a complete team,
They are, man.
offense and defense. And when Flag played like he did versus Arizona, they're damn near unbeatable, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This
And
nigga
think about Cooper Flag.
pulled up for three at the buzzer at the end of the half, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead, T. Go ahead, bro.
See, the thing about Flag is Flag does so many things well. Even if you almost have to make Cooper Flag a scorer because if everybody else is going, Flag has the awareness to kind of do other things to help the team win. You kind of want him to have to score 30 plus, 25, 30 plus, and really try to slow down some of their other guys. Houston's best bet, honestly, is to try to let Cooper Flag bait him into just getting his and trying to lessen opportunities for the other guys because when you have Knipple going and like Zion James and Proctor,
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say,
if they get going, if
that's-
Proctor plays well, Duke's damn near unbeatable.
Yeah, and that's been the difference. That's been the difference throughout this tournament. Like Proctor's been on a heater. Like he knows it's like his draft stock is dependent on this one tournament, so he's going for it, which is crazy right now.
Shooting over 60% from the field, bro.
Fuck.
that's a
Yeah,
daggone
dog.
anomaly, bro.
In the tournament, 60%, over 60% from the field.
But I agree with your point, T, because we was talking about in the chat. It seems like Cooper Flag's got that kind of, even though he's scoring kind of crazy, he kind of got like that AD role for like how he was with Kentucky. We know he's the best player, but Cal and AD, they was confident enough to be like, I can get my bucket at any moment, but if everybody else can get hot, I could do the little stuff like play defense, clean up on the glass, set up the offense, get the assists and everything. Because AD got player of the game just for playing fucking defense in the championship game. That's all they need. And because he's like, I'm the number one pick. I don't need to show that I can score 35, 45 points. I'm the number one pick. Y'all see the potential. So team-wise, he's like, all right, I'm gonna get these steals. I'm gonna be in these passing lane. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna be a leader on the floor. I'm gonna talk and stuff like that. So to your point, T, that's what it's like. Like you want Cooper Flag to take like 25 shots and shoot like 8-3, something like that, just so everybody else can get off rhythm. And so y'all have a better chance. Like it's kind of that, like you said, you gotta bait him.
Yeah, I mean, Houston, like Kelvin Sampson's done a great job at Houston. This is their second Final Four in like 4 or 5 years. They've been to an Elite Eight. They were once the last year, and their point guard got injured versus Duke. Kind of that was unfortunate, but I just don't think Houston has the high end talent that Duke has. I think Houston's getting kind of look at their recruiting class. They got some 5-star recruits coming there next year, I believe. So, they just don't have the high end talent that Duke has. Duke has 3 top 10 picks. Cooper Flag's going number 1. We know Knipple's going top 10. Malawatch is going top 10 or late lottery as well. So, when you have that high end talent.
And Proctor's a second round pick as of right now. So that's 4 in the top 60.
Yeah. Duke is just a complete team, and the way that they locked Alabama down, I didn't believe in Bama, bro. Ball will never prevail, bro. and Linus Ball would never prevail, bro. They were too small. Like Mark Sears was in absolute hell.
Yeah,
Yep.
College
Fake ass
Jalen
Brunson was in hell, bro.
I'm about to say college Jalen Brunson, bro. You do all that shit in the regular season, but when it's money time, you're a comb. You're just a fucking comb, man. Despicable, man. Look at this shit.
Against
Can't
BYU,
believe.
he was the man, though. He was the man against BYU, though. He was the man.
He was playing against a Russian and no offense to Africans. Who the fuck cares, man? Look, man, we know what's going on in BYU, man. Unless you're AJ coming in next year, you know them Bamas, man. They too stuck up, man. They ain't getting none over there, man. They ain't got no swag over there at BYU right now, man.
Their nuts ain't dropped yet.
They were the dry humping.
Hey, cuz.
It's starving, bro.
At BYU, you go on different type of missions. It's not the missions you think you're going on. I'll tell you that.
They looking for Martin Luther over there.
And they want me to believe AJ just going there because he likes the damn school. Yeah, you can lie. You can lie. You can lie to somebody else. You can lie.
Right.
You can take that shit and lie to somebody else.
That paper made him lie. Danny Ainge ain't low.
That money,
Danny Ainge
that
ain't
deal ain't lie. That paperwork ain't lie.
Danny Ainge ain't low.
Dave. When it comes to college sports, the paperwork always lie. We're gonna let it. We're gonna. The paperwork always gonna lie in college. But hey, man, we're gonna let it rock. We're gonna let it rock. What's your thoughts? We got SEC matchup. I don't know how many times Auburn and Florida played. I know at least once. Twice? Only one time.
Yeah.
So this. Oh shit! So it's at Florida again. Because Florida, I will say, outside the Maryland Colorado State game, that Florida Texas Tech game was amazing because when they was down 10, I counted them out, but they went on the crazy run in the final minutes of that game. So I mean,
Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, man.
That's a cold motherfucker, bro. Cold motherfucker, dog.
Nigga named Walter, bro. Got busy on him.
Walter.
That's what. There you go, Corey. I'm about to say, don't play with that name, Walter.
I'm about to say, Walter White gave people a different kind of work. But yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Hey, I'm never going to disrespect the name Walter no more. So I gonna tell you.
No,
but
got busy on him.
Yeah, he did. But man, Auburn, they had a candidate for Player of the Year, and boom, and he did look like he had a scary moment with that fall, but he got back in the game, hit a three on some wannabe Willis Reed type shit. So we're assuming that he's going to be okay for this matchup against Florida, but it just seems like how we talk about on the women's side with UCLA and I guess UConn, like Florida just seems like they're a complete team. They got a starting five, they got a bench, they got a good coach going on. They've been one of the premier dominant teams in college basketball this season. So like Bruce Pearl, Auburn, they had a great season too, but it just seems like Florida just was that team, and coming from the SEC, that seems to mean something these days. So like I'm assuming Florida's going to be favored. So what does Auburn have to do to go against this Florida Gators team?
Going the game up.
Yeah.
One thing about Florida, they almost got knocked out by UConn. They struggled with Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida's actually played a complete game in the NCAA tournament yet. For what their ability is, I think Florida is the one team that can actually beat Duke because they can go legit too deep at every position.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't played a complete game yet, so it's like you don't know what you're going to get with Florida, and then they kind of have to like turn it up late against UConn, and the same thing versus Texas Tech. Auburn's also a team that at the end of the season they kind of tailed off a little bit. They had some challenges as well, but they played a solid game versus Michigan State. Probably the most complete game they probably played in the tournament. They were in Atlanta, which Atlanta's not far from Auburn University, so that's a damn near a home game.
Yeah, that was a
versus
home
Michigan
game.
State. That was a home game, bro. Like that was legit home court. That's like Duke playing in Jersey, bro.
Yeah.
They had, so it's gonna be interesting to see who can establish their will. Because Florida likes to get up and down, and Auburn defends pretty well. and they can kind of grind it out and kind of like you said about the game. They play a little bit of edge, but they have to like channel their edge in the right way because when Auburn's gotten beat, sometimes they just have like mental gaffes, or they go overboard with some of their antics and stuff. But it's going to be interesting though. For me personally, and I hate to say this because the football fan in me can't ever root for fucking Florida. But I need Florida versus Duke. 'Cause I think Florida is the one team that can beat Duke. And this is basketball, saying football. And it's anybody but Duke at this point. So I need Florida to get the job done.
AT, you know what was crazy while I was watching the game the other day? It's when I saw the fans do the little Florida chant, I got triggered so bad, bro.
Fuck that chant, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I got triggered so bad. I was like, man, and the Mather Bull from Elijah Hawkins was on Texas Tech too. So I was like, I hope these bitches lose, bro. But then like you said, Walter just got that team going crazy from three with like less than 2 minutes left in the game. I was like, God damn, like this shit got real quick, man. I was like, but those some good points, team, and I kind of agree. It seems like Florida, for the most part, plays like one good half of basketball, but it's the second half, which is money tied. So that's what it matters. But they do have to clean up the turnovers. They have been turnover prone so far in this tournament, and eventually that's going to bite you in the ass at some point. Especially when you're playing a team like Auburn, that's going, like you said, muck the game up, and they're going to try to limit your possessions and take some time off that clock. And then either you make it to the next round, and whoever you face between Houston and Duke, those are definitely teams you definitely don't want to turn the ball over because those are momentum plays that both teams can generate. And that 10-point game you had against that 10-point deficit you had against Texas Tech can easily be 15 and 20 doing that shit with Duke and Houston. So they gotta be careful with how they take care of the ball.
Oh yeah, one thing real quick about Houston, they are playing in San Antonio, so if they can generate some type of momentum, it's going to be damn near. We know Duke travels, but it's damn near going to be a home game for Houston if they can generate enough momentum. These are college kids, so momentum plays a huge part in these games as well. So don't discount that fact in the other game. If Houston can somehow get a lead early and apply some pressure and get the crowd behind them, we know Auburn and Florida ain't rooting for Duke. We know that none of the other teams root for Duke. Everybody wants to see Duke lose. So if Houston can get the other fans crowd behind them, and their own fans crowd behind them, because I've been to a Final Four when you can get the fan, because like it's interesting because the first game you have fans of the other team, and then you have the fans of the other schools start to pack in. But that second game, I think Houston's the second game, so everybody's fans are in there. So the other team's fans are usually rooting for the underdog or whichever team they dislike the most. So, like, when you've been in that environment, you kind of know how it goes. Because I was there in New Orleans, and, the Nova fans and the Kansas fans, well, fuck Kansas fans, because they were booing both UNC and Duke. Fuck them niggas, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fuck Kansas, bro.
No, T, you right, though. You right there, because it's funny, because I saw a Maryland fan at the damn game between Florida and Texas Tech, and I know he was sitting right with them Texas Tech fans blending in with that red and black on. I said, yes, he said, I'm here to see my Ops lose, bro. I said, I love this shit, bro.
Hell yeah.
I love this shit.
I've been the same way, man. Fuck all that, bro. I was the same all way.
Yeah, that's just something to think about for the Houston game that I didn't think about until like we was talking about the other game. But yeah, like Florida Auburn, it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna go with Florida.
Yeah, I think the popular matchup is probably good for ratings too. It's probably gonna be Florida versus Duke. But I'm cool. Hey, look, this is an anti-Duke podcast, and I don't care who sees this, who listens. That it is what it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. Am I gonna respect the players and shit? Yeah, I guess so. But am I gonna pray for your fortune? No. So I'm gonna be that hater. Yeah, I'm gonna be that hater. So it is what it is. But I think just like the women, I think you couldn't ask for college basketball in general. You couldn't ask for better Final Fours on both sides, especially for the men, because we know like over the last few years, the men's game has been kind of lacking with like intention and generating that buzz for good matches and stuff like that. So it's kind of good for them to have like some interesting teams to follow, especially the regions that they're covering between the South and the Northeast and stuff like that. You got a Texas team, so I think it's going to be good, man, for both sides. Can't wait to see how all this plays out and see who's hosting no trophies. But before we get off this podcast, we've been talking about teams that are trying to gain a trophy, but now let's talk about some teams that have been losing players, coaches, ads, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
everyone, welcome to college free agency. I mean, my bad. The transfer portal. The transfer portal.
No, you had it right the first time. You had it right. It's basically college free agency.
Man, over 700. I'm just talking about the men's side, by the way, folks. Over 700 players enter the portal as soon as that bitch open up, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Programs losing whole teams, coaches, and everything in less than 2 days. Look, man, a spade's a spade. As BT said, this is what college sports is now. We see it in football, but it's a bigger impact in basketball because it's only a few limited slots in basketball compared to football. So you're going to see it more impacted on this side. But damn, we were seeing people committing to other teams while the other teams still playing the tournament. Like, it was some crazy shit going on, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, what's your thoughts? Because I know each of us, we have some impactful players go to the transfer portal. I know as a Maryland fan, we lost our coach, Kevin Willard. I could get into that, but all I can say is it's some bad blood behind the scenes of how everything went down with that. And I can understand why, even though business is business, I can understand why shit is kind of sour between him and how he kind of handled everything. But, it's some buzz in College Park now. We got Buzz Williams as a new coach. He kind of fits the mold of how I want a Maryland coach to be, like that kind of that rigid underdog. He's going to motivate the players. He's going to he's going to get the most out of his players. So I'm looking forward to his press conference tomorrow to see what he got to say, and looking forward to how he's going to try to keep Maryland basketball relevant and see where he takes us off to. Because he's a good coach, like two-time SEC Coach of the Year. He's been to the Elite Eight, multiple 20-win seasons. So he knows ball. So
really good program builder. Really good program.
He knows ball. So really looking forward to it. But I know UConn, UNC. I know y'all have some players going to the portal and everything. I mean, what's your thoughts on that and just transfer to college free agency, what we're calling it in general?
I guess the first player that stood out to me, or one of the first players to, I guess, make the decision on where they were transferring to. I was just kind of looking at, NIL deals, like who has the most, and I'm like, if you're requesting $2 million, you better be a first round pick. Like you better be a first round pick. Like that I think T was obviously pissed off about Cadeau requesting that money. But I'm like, bro, you could go somewhere with that, requesting $2 million. But it is what it is, man. Like, you got some a lot of these college players, this is probably the most money that they're going to make playing basketball. I mean, some are going to go
America.
In America, some are going to go pro. I mean, some are going to go pro overseas. So this is the most that a lot of them, I'd say 50% of them are going to make while playing college basketball. Because, I mean, yeah, obviously not a lot of them are going to make it, have a long NBA careers. They may have long careers playing overseas, playing in Europe or playing in Australia or what have you. But for the most part, this is the only time that a lot of them are going to make a lot of money. So I get it. And it is what it is. I mean, people want to capitalize on, whatever deals, and it's not about building programs anymore. It's not about keeping the same team. Although some teams still have that, some teams still do that. I know like some teams like like Marquette, like they kept some of the same guys over the last couple years, but yeah, for the most part, it's on to the next one. You get a deal here, you ball out. If I ball out at Ohio State and then Texas A&M gives me a bigger bag, you end up going to Texas A&M, especially if you don't fuck with your teammates like that. So, and I think that's a lot of it is what it comes down to. I mean, if just looking at, I think there was like one graphic that we looked at where the remaining teams in the tournament, like,
oh yeah, the Sweet 16, yeah.
None of them have only one has like all their starters that started at that same school. So it and it has like some benefits, I guess, like for let's say like Walter Clayton Jr. for example, came from Iona. He was coached under Rick Pitino at Iona, and then balled out there, and then ended up going to Florida, and he's balling out in the SEC. So the same thing happened with Dalton Knecht last year. Dalton Knecht started at like I think Division II or somewhere. Like he's Division I, AA, and then he ended up at Tennessee. So it has its benefits, like for players like that, but it's also hurting, like the kind of the storylines of college basketball that we used to have. But I'm not gonna knock players for getting their money though.
Dave, with everything you said, like, hold on a second, what's going on, bro? Hold on, bro. I'm not going to Corey. You just
Gotham.
We are in Gotham, bro.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Corey?
Gotham?
No, nigga.
I'm going to Scarecrow with the gas.
Hey, man.
But like I said, there's not a lot of storylines. My fault. I was going to say there's not a lot of storylines on the mid side anymore, like as far as like star building, because guys are either one and done or they transfer. I bet you go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, no, literally what T said. Like, we're not getting enough opportunity to see like actual stars being built in college no more. No more are we actually getting those. Who can I even say? Because it's been a lot of one and dones for a long time now. Honestly, even with those one and dones, we're not getting like those.
I'll give you an example. Tyler Hansbrough, 4-year guy.
Yeah.
Even though we hate this team, is no villains like JJ Redick anymore. We ain't got nobody, no Christian Laettners, like nobody that you absolutely love to hate. It's just that we know that these players are going to be gone the next year.
So soon, yeah.
The last villain we had was Grayson Allen, and he stayed all 4 years.
Yeah, he wasn't like that, man. Come on, bro.
Hey, but he was a villain, though.
He was a villain because he was cooking. He was a villain because he was hurting your niggas, bro. Like
what's the white version of a goon? What's the white version of a goon? That's what he is.
Like
imagine Isaiah Stewart but white.
Where's the Marshall Hendersons at, man? Yeah, where's the Grievous Vasquez at, man? Because niggas hated Grievous.
That's a villain. That's a villain right there.
Grievous Vasquez, the way he was talking shit, I love it.
Yeah, see, part of the problem now is like, if you stay in college more than 2 years, people just don't think you're that good. They don't care. Yeah. Like, look at Zach Edey, for example. Like, 20 years ago, he would have been a bigger story than what he is. But hey, he is what he is, and he's doing all right in the league. You know what I'm saying? But we don't look at him as a star, because if he was a star, he would have been gone. This is kind of how the environment of the men's side is. I feel like the last megastar we will have in men's college basketball that had the cachet, the star power, was Zion, and look how he turned out. Sick freak.
Hey, man, freaky ass niggas gotta stay their ass inside, man.
Hey, you know my saying. All South Carolina niggas, the only thing they like is guns and buns.
Oh, neck bone sucking ass niggas.
Hey, yo.
But y'all think it's gonna be any changes to to how they do the trick because I actually just watched before we hopped on the pod Scott Van Pelt how he felt about the whole Coach Wheeler situation, and I didn't realize that the reason why you got to be so active early in this transfer portal process because the money that you raise for these NIL deals and everything, I think they only have until like April 7th to give them out. And you don't give that money out, it's just hold over. Like you can't use it anymore to give out NIL deals for like late recruits or anything like that. So I think that's an interesting and crazy concept to think about when everybody seeing like why these players just committing during the tournament stuff like that. Like one player that went to Kentucky, he was like, "Look, a spot opened up, and I wasn't gonna let anybody take my spot. So as soon as Kentucky called, I went there." So I think it was really interesting.
They have to eventually do a salary cap for this. They have to because everything that's going on with these NIL deals, like I'm all for everybody getting their bread, no matter what. But it's getting real tricky at this point when it comes to these NIL deals. Like we got players that's literally following the bag every year, like legit players leaving every year, going to a new school instead of going to the league.
I mean, yeah, like I think just putting a cap on how much you transfer, like you transfer like 4 times, like going to like 4 schools during your college career, it's kind of absurd. Like, I mean, like to the regular student, you obviously don't have a cap on how many times you transfer, but like for college athletes to transfer like 3-4 times, that's a lot. Like I think there needs to be some type of regulation on how often you can transfer. The only
reason I say they would never do that because you never gonna put a cap on coaches when they can leave.
That's true. Yeah, that's the only.
So,
that's the thing, yeah.
So like, and it's an evil. The business could get evil and dark on some of these programs when it comes to that. But one of the main reasons why we was so up for players getting paid is because the universities will come. They will lie to you saying, yeah, this coach is going to be here forever. He ain't thinking about no opportunities. The player comes for either the head coach or the coach that recruited him. And then that person just ends up a league before they even start their freshman season for some reason or the other. And now you're just like stuck because you can't just like transfer until now. Now you can do whatever you want. I think it's just to a lot of people it's absurd because like we still from the generation of like we used to seeing at least unless you got like a top 5 pick going into the draft, we used to see at least everybody else in your team staying for about 3-4 years. And you build that rapport, you build that relationship with that team and everything. Now it's just like you gotta get used to different players every single year. So people are like uneasy and don't know how to react to that because they're just not used to it. And there's always gonna be some resistance when you're not used to certain shit like that.
And also at the same time, like it's something I think we touched base on before. Like with the way that college basketball is going, it's actually getting rid of a lot of our greats when it comes to coaching. A lot of our greats that are coaches, they decided that they can't do this. They can't coach these teams because at this point now, the kids are looking at the coaches like, hey, if you don't give me the time that I want, if you don't give me the number of reps I want, I'm just gonna leave and go to another school. Like you can't discipline these players anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we saw that with I mean he's not a great, but like he's just been coaching for a while. Like my man's the UCLA coach Mick Cronin, he was pissed off at his players because he felt like their egos was too big, during the season, and they weren't playing that to the level that he was expecting. And I think a lot of that's because like these kids get NIL deals. They hate. I mean, you 18, 19, 20 years old, you a millionaire all of a sudden. Yeah, of course you're gonna have a big ego. Yeah, I mean, it's I think like a lot of these coaches that are not used to that, they're having a hard time managing that.
But to your point, but in reverse, we got to put a cap on the age limit in this goddamn college sports game. I'm getting tired of these goddamn 7-year, 26-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 24-year-olds. Yeah. Look, man.
Open up the state farm. Open up the state farm.
Look.
Transfer to the workforce.
I ain't say you got to go to the private sector or the goddamn federal, into the federal. But damn it, you gotta go somewhere. You gotta go somewhere, man. Like I'm tired of going to look at these senior nights. And I see a full grown family man, not a teenager, not a 22-year-old. I'm talking about he got the wedding band on with the kid next to him and the wife next to him on senior night. It used to be your parents. Now you got the damn family next to you. Like, when is this gonna stop?
They 25, 26, bro. Like,
when is this shit gonna stop, bro? Like,
and I'm like, they're kids that are still like matriculating through college and still having eligibility. That played back in 2018. Like,
I'm gonna put it like this.
Remember pre-COVID.
What year is Ant in? His fourth year, fifth year?
Yeah, Ant came out.
It's still Bama's in college basketball that came in with Anthony Edwards. Like, what is going on, son?
Yeah, this
just
is
get
fifth
the
season.
CDL.
Yeah, damn.
Go open up the lemonade booth. Look, just sell the drugs. Just sell the drugs, bro.
Oh my God. Hey, not the Josh Gordon route. What the
Either you got a wicked jump shot or you selling crack rock.
Nah, hey, cuz. Why did that have to rhyme? Where is my composition book? Where is my composition book? Where is it? It's that chorus clear. Yo, man. They need to be, instead of these transfer portals, these kids need to be, instead of transferring to another school.
They're not kids no more, They're not kids no more. They're grown men.
These grown men need to transfer to some entry level positions, bro. They need to transfer to some entry level positions. We need more software developers. We need more educators. Having
a workforce draft is crazy.
We need more bank tellers. We need all these. We need more accountants. Like, yo.
Or look, just go get a trade. Just get a trade. We can get more barbers.
We need more mechanics.
Yeah,
you know, like,
more plumbers, electricians.
I'm saying, man.
Women's always complaining about his no handyman. There we go. We can fix that problem right there.
Jump shot to crack rock.
My bad, y'all. I said,
hey.
No, look, I'm gonna keep it real.
Hey,
I got
wait, Dave, cause we ain't finished yet. AOT, before we leave off this pod, man, I know you got some grievance for a certain coach in the professional rankings after some comments he made last week. What's your thoughts on Mr. Glenn Rivers, man?
I'm not even calling him a man. He's a terrorist. Let's start right there.
The attacks are reprehensible.
This man said that he blew 3-1 leads, but he doesn't get enough credit for the 3 wins. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like when a guy is piping his girl and the girl says she's about to come and then he finishes. He's like, "Oh, babe, I almost made you finish." That's what that shit sound like, bro.
Hey, man.
Meanwhile, you almost made her finish. Meanwhile, she takes another dude that does make her finish.
Man.
That's what Doc Rivers sounds like, bro. Oh, well, I mean, I got 3 wins. Oh, baby, she almost got there.
Almost doesn't count.
Corey, you make see that's that shit. That's that shit. Both of y'all niggas.
The run that started. Playoffs around the corner too. Yeah. The run that started.
Oh my God, son. Hey.
That was crazy. That was crazy right there, dog. Like,
I can't even think. I couldn't follow that up if I wanted to.
Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I don't know.
Adam Silver gonna have to create a participation
Did you say that? That should have been. That sounded like some NBA Centel type shit. Like,
that quote? Yes.
That quote.
I couldn't believe that was a real quote, bro. Talking about 1 year we were 8 seed. 1 year, oh yeah, Chris Paul got hurt. Blah blah blah. All this, man, nah, bro. You're up 3-1, bro. You gotta get it done, bro. Like, there's no excuse, bro.
At least you tried. That's what he want. He wants somebody to look at him and say, "At least you tried." He wanted a little participation. Flyer, but the little, the shit they used to give you in elementary school when you complete something. That's what he want.
You want a little
certificate. Yeah,
Want the certificate. Complete. He
nasty
want the
work.
completion certificate. That's what
That
he
he didn't
want.
complete nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Glenn, Mister, I almost got her there, Rivers. Mm-mm-mm.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Damn. Damn.
If only he didn't finish creating his son.
Oh shit.
Fuck him.
Damn.
Hey. I got nothing. Hey, I'm ready to stop, man. Like, I got nothing. I ain't got nothing, man.
I got nothing for you, man.
I mean, all thing I can say is I hope, the Final Fours for both sides end on a high note. I want certain teams to prevail more than others, but I'm not in control of this, so it is what it is. But we got NFL draft coming up, we got WNBA draft coming up, we got NBA playoffs coming up. So we definitely gonna be dropping some content for y'all on all those things. But yeah, man, as always, we appreciate y'all tuning in, listening to us crazy niggas, man. We be lunching and shit. As my boy Wale said, we be welling in this joint. But hey Dave, what we tell these people, son? What we tell these people, son?
You already know what it is, man. Make sure you subscribe to the pod. We appreciate everybody watching this or listening to this right now on your podcast streaming platform, YouTube, whatever your choice is to watch or listen to us. Yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you like this episode. We appreciate everybody for, watching and comment, whatever, sharing our clips and everything, watching our YouTube clips. We appreciate everybody. Make sure you check out our shorts, all our videos, and catch up with us on our YouTube channel, Instagram page, Facebook, X. Yeah. So more to come. Basketball is in full session, man. Postseason basketball is in full session. Playoff push going on in the NBA. We got the Final Fours this weekend. NBA playoffs around the corner. WNBA about to start in May. So, man, basketball does not stop for sure. And I think BT will agree with me with this. Like, I really don't give a damn who wins on the men's side. Like, well, actually, I do give a damn. I do give a damn because I don't need Duke getting six national championships. I like having more than them. I like having more national championships than them. So yeah, anybody but Duke. But
anybody but Duke, man.
But BT, I was like when earlier I was telling everybody, I'm starving, man. It's been 2016. Since 2016, we ain't had no trophy, bro. We don't let South Carolina get a dynasty. We don't let LSU get one. We don't let Kim Mulkey crusty ass get two.
Oh my God, bro.
Hey yo.
I need that trophy back, dog. I need that back. And I need like Paige is gonna be a UConn legend for sure. But I need her to I need her to be at that same table of players that had championships that came from UConn. I need that. I don't
want to put her in the Caitlin club. Great player, didn't get it done. I want to see Paige. I want to see Paige be great. I want to see Paige be great.
Y'all need Paige to get one too, bro. I'm low key rooting for, not low key. I'm high key rooting for UConn to win championship, bro.
I'm about to say high key.
I had them win, bro.
I had them winning on my bracket for some money. So shit, man, get my money up, bro. Fuck it. If anything.
Big fact.
Hey, and with that, before we go, and this is for y'all motherfuckers at ESPN. Get your promo up back for this McDonald's All-American game.
Man,
Why the fuck did I almost forget about this shit? Why y'all not highlighting these kids, man? Y'all fucked up. For real. Y'all get your shit together. Y'all over here forming the ESPN Avengers for Bron and shit. Get your act together over there, man. Shit, getting sick of y'all, man. I got all this smoke for the wrong reason.
The only promo for the game I saw was at the bottom right screen, the bottom right of the screen, bro, where they do like the little advertisements, like for the upcoming game. That's the only thing I've seen. Yeah, well, yeah. You know this such and such game happening tonight, 9:00. Yeah,
We
that's
we
it.
lost we lost the promo for the All American game like we lost the dollar menu, man. We losing recipes out here, dog. It's sicking
Boy.
out here. Sick
Yeah.
out here.
Crazy.
But look, man. Well, look. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. As always, we over here. We don't duck nobody. If y'all want to come on this joint, y'all more than welcome. Like Dave said, we got the YouTube stuff up and hopping. Comment on that joint. If y'all don't like it, we don't care. If you got something to say, come up and say it to our face. Like, look, man, we welcome all discussion up on this joint. But with that, I got my boy D, Dr. Esquire Day. I got my boy, the finest out of the 910 BT. Then I got my two Charlotte hitters, C Note and T, the biggest plug in
Yes,
Charlotte,
sir.
by the way. This is Dre from PG, always repping for the DMV, especially PG County for sure. Hey, man, Sassum 4. Tune into our next episode. We out.